Wanderer, The Ultimate Hippie Trail Journey is a great read and a hell of a lot of fun. Check it out. Follow the journey and our route on our website at wandererbook.com. Hi, this is Steve Reifman. I'm still doing it week by week. We're going to make it all the way home. 50 years ago this week, I was in a place called McLeod Ganj where the Dalai Lama was living, and it was filled with Tibetan people. That's what we're going to be concentrating on. But first of all, let's look at the big picture. Coming from Michigan, over the Atlantic, through Iceland, Northern Europe, London, Paris, Barcelona, the islands, Morocco, across North Africa, up the boot to Rome, flying to Israel, spending some time in the kibbutz and are making our way around Israel, then out to Cyprus, then to Lebanon, Syria, through Turkey, and then back across. Yes, the big picture, we make it to Afghanistan. And then from Afghanistan, now we are with the Dalai Lama. And that's what this week is all about. Let's get down to the particulars. This is a pretty easy introduction because McLeod Ganj, a little town nestled on the starting slopes of the Himalayas, where these Tibetan people in the early 50s had made their way across the incredible Himalayan mountains to find their way to this place in India that they could find safety after the communist Chinese basically chased them out over to kill them. So this is our area. Let's take a look at this area real quick, okay? You see it's nestled on the side of mountains. And it's a forested area. There's even a Christian church in McLeod Ganj. Water features, rivers flowing. You see the mountains in the background. The river comes through. Here's the Tibetan areas, a meditation center, and the ravines coming through the mountains. It's quite an experience to be in an environment like this. June 14, 1971, Monday, Upper Dharamsala, McLeod Ganj. After 3 days down in Dharamsala, then we come up here to the home of the Dalai Lama in the green, lush jungle of the mountains. The people are almost all Tibetans here, and the vibes are incredible. After walking 4 kilometers through the beauty of the mountains, seeing monkeys feeding outside the town, the fog is quite impressive. Many beautiful views, and the people farm softly. The Tibetan women are so beautiful. To see all the Buddhist Tibetans sitting and praying together with prayer wheels going around and around is very far out. Very fine place. Good food using chopsticks, but as shovels, not as people in the West do, where they pick at something with the chopsticks. We pick up our bowls and we shovel in the food using the 2 chopsticks as a lever. Makes it fun, and the food is good. Behind me is a picture of the great man, Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama, chose Dharamsala as the capital in exile of the Tibetan people after fleeing Chinese oppression in 1959. And whether it's the endless spinning of Buddhist prayer wheels or simply the divine presence of the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan enclave at Dharamsala draws seekers of spiritual enlightenment from all over the world. And I suppose I was one of them. That's from Wikipedia. It's 15 June 1971, Tuesday. La la, how that life goes on. My mind moves, yet it is tranquil. Eating Tibetan food still with chopsticks is very beautiful. The little Tibetan lady who owns this hotel and restaurant, Tibetan Memory, is very beautiful. I'm in love with her. Good food. This hotel has 3 rooms over a store. The restaurant is a shack across the street near the public toilets and wash area that we use also. No privates. Bathroom and showers are on the street in the middle, next to the prayer wheels, with the people. All Tibetans and one Indian store owner. He is at the edge of town and no one likes him. I go to the Buddhist temple where the Dalai Lama lives. It has some incredible statues. I got into my meditating head for an hour in that temple. Sometimes I think I may have to stay in India for months or forever. I get inklings of finding some true inner peace here. I'm told there's a meditating course in Benares that may prove an interesting stop on the way to Nepal. The calm of the heavy mountain forest is like some beautiful tranquilizer. At the temple, I bought a pamphlet written by the Dalai Lama. I read it and parts were very beautiful. I have truly gained some respect for this man. There was a monkey shot today by the bastard Indian shopkeeper at the edge of town. Apparently, the monkeys had become a bit aggressive and were interfering with the shoppers in the only Indian upgraded shop in this town. There has been this incredible uproar as the Tibetans are so upset, and so am I. A French guy who was feeding the monkey dragged the dead monkey back into town and dumped it in front of the store. I've had a very few vivid recounts of the monkey incident. The wounded monkey appeared to be the leader and ran out of town after being shot. Then a whole crew of monkeys came up into a tree with him, all making a great clamor. Then the wounded monkey dropped out of the tree dead. His cohorts came down around him and tried to revive him, shaking him. After the French guy drags the monkey right in front of the shop, we come, me and my buddies, walking up the road, and there are crowds around the dead monkey. The police were called in, and there's been much bad feeling since. The dead monkey lays there like some sacrifice to the evils of our time. The Buddhist priest giving love to all living things from insect up, and this blatant killing is quite painful. The beauty of feeding monkeys as they come close to the road has been tarnished. Oh, by the way, we picked up a 4th buddy in our group to stay in the Tibetan Memory Hotel, the big room. His name is Don Dill. He's a tall, blonde fella from Saskatchewan, Canada, and a very likable gentleman. And there we are together, and we're having a great time just paling around in this climate with a real hippie community in town, and then mostly with the Tibetans. It's night. The stars come out full, and they knock my eyes out. This place is so fine. It appears there'll be an audience with the Dalai Lama Friday. Far out. Dick says the hand of God seems to be moving me down the long and winding road. The direction is to search for truth on my own level. So many roads leading towards one God. Buddhism indeed is very interesting. This place is a bit like taking some soft, fantastically sweet tranquilizer. Just walk a few feet out of town and the feel of the lush mountain jungle softens your brain to mush. June 16, 1971, Wednesday. Still McLeod Ganj. My visa runs out today. As for India, oh, the law and passports, ouch. Money, ouch. I saw Roland, a French-Swiss fellow I know from the kibbutz here today. Very far out. He said that Lynn O'Connor is in Kathmandu. I thought she'd be home by now. No one seems to be going home, but I still long for that day on many levels. Many thoughts go through my head about the future trip. Delhi holds the answers to so many mysteries for me and my cohorts. Actually, I'm getting quite excited about letters, money, etc., connection, and hopefully a little security. Because right now, I'm in a hole with these guys that are loaning me money still. I've got no money. They give me some ahead so I have some in my pocket, but I am borrowing from guys I just met coming into Afghanistan. It's kind of crazy, but I'm going to go with the flow. Me and my Western buddies, us hippies, we sit and rap each other's hearts out. Don the Canadian is a great addition to us here at the Tibetan Memory, just hanging out. Dick and Roger seem to be on their way to Australia, and that's really not my trip. I don't know where I'm going, but I still feel like I want to be home, perhaps by September. As usual, we shall see. It's some trip and it has no signs of slowing up. This world is something. This place is so beautiful and soft. The children are beautiful. Over, under, sideways, down. 18 June 1971, Friday, McLeod Ganj. I see the Dalai Lama. It is quite absurd. We were checked thoroughly by security, then paraded up to the great man as he stood on the entrance porch of a small building in the compound. There were about 20 Tibetans and 10 freaks, including me and my buddies. The Dalai spoke in Tibetan, a few words to his people, and that was it. Not much. Tomorrow, we will set off towards Kulu, the road again. We could have asked for a private interview, a private session with the Dalai Lama, and it might have been arranged, but I didn't really know what to ask him anyway, so we just went with the public group. But it was an experience, and I'm glad to say that I got to see him while I was there in McLeod Ganj. It is Saturday, and we are leaving the Tibetan land. And we leave with a beautiful ride, sadly, through the lush green mountains, up in the front of a bus at a rip-off price. The four of us keep going crazy at the view, and the ride is very pleasant, just rolling down the highway. I've decided I'm on my way to Delhi because I've got to get some things done immediately. Visa, extended and get into Kathmandu, Nepal, and money. I've got to get that money. Next week, it's week 38. We're going to head out from Mandi in the Himachal Pradesh and leave the Himalayas behind, and it's going to start getting hot again. We're going to go down after a harrowing attempt at hitchhiking and then down to Delhi, finally a train to Delhi, and then spending some time in Delhi, accomplishing some necessaries and enjoying the culture and moving on to Agra and the famous Taj Mahal. See you next week. The Wanderer is a great read. It uses something we call the active voice. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You feel like you're right there experiencing it with our Wanderer. And follow our route of the journey on our website at wandererbook.com. My thoughts are flowing on where I'm heading next. Delhi holds the solutions for my being able to continue this journey. My money needs are critical. By the time we get there, I will be flat busted. I pray my family sends some funds. What happens when I arrive if there's no letters for me at the American Express office? Perish the thought. I'm heading in the right direction in my personal search for my truth. Buddhism is indeed very interesting to me. So many roads all lead to only one God. I'm becoming attuned with the Om vibration of the universe. This place puts my mind so at ease, natural bliss. I stayed up real late tonight by myself out on the street, just gazing upward at the sky. The Milky Way is as plain as can be. A huge band of light spreads across the sky to its end at each horizon, as if rising out of the mountains that engulf me. The ocean of stars is ever bright and twinkling as the galaxy summons my attention. It is the most fantastic night sky I have ever seen.